What is up, guys? Back for another video. Today we're gonna look at these cuttings. This is just insane. I placed these here off a tree I cut down in the other area where there was the two aspens. I think I made a video of it. It was like a stub. Well, this was the upper part of that. And look at all the growth. If I zoom into 5 times here, you should be able to see it. Look at that. Look how thick those stems are. This is only about a week. Look at all the growth from the adventitious pods in there. If I can get it to focus. Just look at all that. Not the best lighting at this time. It's 7 in the morning, but that is just amazing. Extremely vigorous. It's grown since last night. And you can tell the thicker the bud, the thicker the stem, the more vigorous the growth, because there's more growth in there, energy in there. Just very, very thick growths. I've never seen something so thick. So just imagine what that stub is going to do in the ground there. Oh my God. It's going to go nuts. It's summer. It's going to be amazing. And then these here, look at them. They are not very vigorous. They're the stems off those branches. So this cuts. It's actually these stems, but they're small, they don't have enough as much energy, so they don't really do as much. These, though, are very, very impressive. Look at that. That is just insane. So today, as we go through the day, I'm going to record the uptown ones and the ones over at the office. So, yeah, but look at them. Those are so amazing how thick that stem is. Very green as well. If this was connected to a tree in the ground, it would get to the point where it'd get to winter, it'd probably be this tall, and then it would harden into the same aspen colored stem. But in this, I don't know how long it'll last, but we're just gonna experiment and find out. But it is pretty nice. Look at that. So anyway, that's the first area. See you guys later today and later this afternoon. Alrighty, guys, and it is about 6 o'clock, as I might have been thinking earlier. But you're seeing this video first. But I was talking about that in the next video I'll show. But regardless, here's the cuttings last day in this area. You can see they've yellowed quite significantly since the last update on April 16th. They're approaching that time when there's so many roots in the bottom they can't breathe, stuff like that. It's pretty nasty in there. Look at that though. They've been in here for about 6 months now, 5.5 months. You can still see they've got buds prepared, ready to cull, and have grown significantly for being placed in a window. So there's the cup number 1. And the roots are in there pretty largely. This one's almost out of water though. You can see those there. Look at them. I'm gonna fill these up and let them go for a little longer. Possibly maybe make a next cutting update in June, because they are sucking quite a bit of water, especially them ones, so it shows they're doing something. But that one's got a lot of stems and there's a lot less water than in that one or that one. So we'll leave them, just see what they do. And then this one here, kind of, but yeah, there's that cup right there. Quite a bit of leaves there. And this here, look at that. Still pretty green in this cup, actually. Maybe the less brightness from the window. So we'll let these go and see what happens. But I know I will be emptying some. That's these here. These are extremely dirty inside and not produced much growth, because these I took in October, so they've been inside since October. Have not had a proper, what do they call that? Cold period, stratification period. But some of them, however, did produce some growth, which is kind of crazy, but it's just very slow rate and barely growing at all. So there's those. Last cutting update video for probably maybe all of these. So yeah, there's those. See you guys. Oh, no, I'm not done yet. Actually, one more. These here, which are done as well because they have ran out of water once, kind of fixed, and then I accidentally let them run out of water again because they were sucking too fast, and now they're pretty much done. You can see they did produce some amazing leaves though. Look at that. Amazing growth, but they're pretty crisped. because those cells died. But yeah, overall those were from the cut one I did, and those grew pretty well. So there's that one. Kind of my fault it went. But they were nice while they were here. I made videos on them, and they're time to go. We'll see you guys in the next video. Alrighty, and it's about 12 o'clock, about 1 o'clock actually. And there's the cuttings up here. So it's about 52 degrees up here. You can see they've just produced little teeny growth, just enough to be visible. So there's cutting number 1, cutting number 2. You can see there. You can see there, they haven't produced as much growth, but they are alive. So kind of interesting there. So there's the other ones. And here's the original ones. We can see it looks like they've produced a little bit more growth. They've been here the longest, like I said. They've got a growth right there, pretty long. That's a whole stem. Not as long as the ones at home. None of them are as long as those. That was nuts this morning when I recorded that first one. But just look at this. Wow. Getting lower on water, but they have been here for quite a while. So not as long as the ones at the office, which I'll show you, which you've seen before this, actually. So yeah, I gotta record that later. But about probably 6 o'clock or 5 or 4 o'clock, I'll do that. But you'll see it before this one. So yeah, there's the cuttings here.